ya sabes cuándo va a llegar tu dinero. Porque si eres adulto mayor, tienes una discapacidad o tienes más de 60 años, lo que te voy a contar en los próximos minutos puede cambiar completamente tu semana. Hay una fecha clave que muchas personas están ignorando y que podría hacer que pierdas tu pago o que tengas que formarte horas y horas en el banco sin necesidad. Quédate hasta el final, porque también te voy a explicar algo muy importante sobre un trámite que tienes que hacer en junio sí o sí y que si no lo haces podrías quedarte sin tu apoyo. Así que no te muevas, porque esto te interesa muchísimo. Antes de empezar, si aún no le das like a este canal y no estás suscrita, hazlo ahorita, en este momento, porque aquí publicamos información actualizada sobre todos los programas de bienestar, fechas de pago, requisitos, cambios importantes y todo lo que necesitas saber para no perderte ni un solo peso de lo que te corresponde. Toca la campanita para que te llegue una notificación cada vez que subamos algo new. ¿Listo? Alright, say, vamos con todo. Empecemos desde el principio para que quede bien claro. El depósito del cuarto bimestre, que corresponde a los meses de julio y agosto, se va a adelantar. Así es, no vas a esperar hasta julio to receive it, sino que los recursos van a comenzar a reflectarse en las tarjetas a partir del 30 de junio. Esa es una muy buena noticia, porque significa que vas a tener tu dinero antes de lo esperado. Pero, ojo, esto no quiere decir que todas las personas van a ver el depósito. Exactly the 30th of June at the same time. Also, there is a calendar of distribution which functions in an automatic fashion and is organised by the first letter of your last name. And this is something that you have to understand really well to know exactly when to expect your money and avoid confusions. Now let's talk about the months, because this is what everyone wants to know. If you're an adult major aged 65 years or more, the month that you're going to receive in this bimestre is 6,400 pesos. That is the apoyo corresponding to 2 months, that is, July and August. If you're mujer and tienes 60 years or more, pero aún no llegas a los 65, entonces tu apoyo is the 3,100 pesos. And si eres a person with disability, the monto that te corresponds is the 3,300 pesos. Estos are the montos oficiales que se han informado for this quarter bimestre, and it's important that you have them bien present so that when you see the deposit in your card, you know exactly what quantity you should receive and can report any difference if there were one. Now, I want to explain to you how that calendar of distribution works. Del que te hable, porque es clave para que no te desesperes ni te alarmes si el 30 of June no ves todavía tu dinero. El Banco del Bienestar will realizar the deposits to manner punctual and automatica, and the order in which they ask the payments is based on the first letter of your apellido paterno. This is done precisely to avoid that all the people go to the bank the same day, which would create files enormous, agglomerations, and much inconvenience, tant for the beneficiaries, calling for the super cycles. The idea is that the flow. The person ser ordenado, and que cada quien sepa más o menos when it le toques, sin necessity to ir a preguntar or to hacer fila innecessarily. I add something very special that Essie announced for the people cuyos apellidos commence with the letter A. This group in particular will ver reflected his pago 24 hours after those demás. Or say, if your apellido empiezas with A, podrías ver tu dinero disponible from the 29th of June, un día antes del inicio oficial of the dispersión. This is precisely for evitar que todas las personas con apellido A, S, accumulate in the same day in the supersolas. It's a measure that busca a ser mais efficient the process and that you can poder ir tranquilamente to the bank without encountering yourself with a fila interminable. Se o apellido doesn't empieza with A, don't worry. The system irá depositing the las resources de manera automática conforme avancen the days siguientes, siempre siguiendo el order alfabético. The most recommendable is that you spare with calm, that you don't go to the bank the first day if it doesn't correspond to your todavía, and que antes de ir, intentes consultar a saldo of your tarjeta from the telephone, or by the means that are still disposable to confirm it. See, you avoid a salida unnecessary and avoid the tiredness of filling up lines. I also want you to be aware of something that many people don't consider and can make them lose valuable time. It's not necessary to pop into the bank to inquire if the deposit has arrived. If you're entitled to it and you got your tarjeta active and everything's in order with your register, the initiative will come to you automatically. You don't have to. Hacer ningún trámite especial ni presentarte en ninguna sucursal para que te lo depositen. El sistema está diseñado para que la dispersión ocurra sola, sin que tú tengas que hacer nada adicional. Lo único que tienes que asegurarte es de que tu información esté correcta and actualizada en el padrón de beneficiarios, pero de eso te voy a hablar un poco más adelante, porque es muy importante. Now, pasemos a otro tema que también es fundamental para este mes de junio. During este mes se van a llevar a cabo dos actividades muy importantes que afectan a muchas personas. La primera es la entrega de tarjetas del Banco del Bienestar, que se realizará del 15 to the 21 of junio. Si eres una beneficiaria o beneficiario que todavía no ha recibido su tarjeta, esta es tu opportunity. Durante esos días vas a poder acudir al punto de entrega que te corresponde según tu comunidad o municipio para recoger tu tarjeta y así poder recibir tus apoyos de manera directa y sin intermediarios. Es muy importante que estés pendiente de las fechas y que no dejes pasar estos días. Porque si you recoge your target during the period señalado, puede that you tends to have to wait until the next cycle of deliveries. The second activity important is the registration of new beneficiaries, which se llevará a cabo the 22 to the 28 of June. So you know of someone who totally are not in the program, who cumples with the requirements of age or disability, and que totally are not ed podido register, this is the moment. From the 22 to the 28 of June, estarán abiertas the inscriptions so that new people can incorporate to the padrón and empezar a receive su apoyo. Compart this information with your family members, with your vecinas and vecinos, with quien quieras que pueda need to receive it, because many persons have direct to this apoyo and simply not are receiving it because they haven't registered or because they don't know how to do it. And hablando de compartir, si this video is to sendo useful, por favor compártelo ahorita with someone he necesita. Mándalo por WhatsApp, compártelo into groups, cuéntalo a tu mama, a tu abuelita, a tu vecina. This information is muy valiosa. Y entre más persons la conozcan, mejor. Regresa to the video because I'm still missing to tell you something very important that you don't need to miss. Now, all right, let's talk about that try-me-out that I mentioned at the beginning and that you absolutely need to do in June. It trattles about the credential of Salud del Bienestar. During this month of June, it's absolutely vital that you try-me-out this credential if you haven't got it yet, because it's the one that's going to guarantee you access to the System Unified of Salud in Mexico. This system is the one that concentrates all the services of Salud for the people. Beneficiarios of the program's socials, and for be able to access to it de manera correctly and sin problems, necesitas tener this credential updated. Tramitaring the credencial of Salud del Bienestar in Junio también tiene que ver with something called the updatation of the patron of beneficiaries. Its patron is basically the list official of all the people who are receiving supports from the government. And the reason why it's so important to keep it updated has to do with various problems that see undetected and which affect tant to the system as to who do have the right to receive the apoits. One of the problems most serious that have been identified is that there are people who have passed away and whose pension is still being covered by their family members. This is a fraud to the program because the apoit was destined to that person specifically and cannot be transferred to another. When this happens, the resources that should be going to people who do need them and who are alive are being diverted in an inappropriate way. Indebida. The updalization of the padron serves precisely to detect and correct these situations and is a measure that protects the integrity of the program and guarantees that the resources jeg into accounts who veritably most them. Otro problem that tambien has detected is the duplicicities in the CURPS. Are cases where one same person appears registered more than once, or where there are errors in the data that generate inconsistencies in the system. This can cause that one person receives double payment by error, or alternatively, that a person who should receive the main payment doesn't receive it. No receive nada because your information not is being registered. The actualisation of the padron and the trimeter of the Credencial of Salud del Bienestar aid to corregir these duplications and to assure that cada person is correctly identified with their CURP, their name and their datas reals. So what do you have to do? If you've already got your tarjeta del Banco del Bienestar, you've already registered in the padron and you already receive your apoyos normally, what you have to do during June is transmit or actualise you. Credencial de Salud del Bienestar. Via to your module of Atención más cercano, lleva to identification official, to your corp, and the documents that they solicitate and realise the tramit. It's a process simple, but very important to maintain your lugar in the padron and guarantee that no one can covert individually the apport that you to you correspond. Now, I want to talk to you about something that also cleared during the transmission in which they gave all this information, and which has to do with a preoccupation very common that many of you have. Beneficiaries and beneficiarios. Mucha hype teni miedo that they les keep su pension or that they put him conditions for sig receiving it. And the response official is mere clear. The pension of the bienestar is a derecho constitutional universal. This means that it's guaranteed by the Constitution Mexican and that it can't be conditioned or retired from manner arbitrary. Nobody can jeg to tell you that you have to vote for certain partido, that you have to attend to certain events, that you have to buy something or do something a cambio. That do apoyo. That's illegal and vas in contra to what establishes the law. See, Audion tells you that your pension depends on doing something like that, you need to report it immediately to the authorities' correspondence. Your apoyo is yours because you have dequatcha to it, and point. Tamiense have responded during that transmission much doubts of beneficiaries real. People like Rosa, como Juanito, como Carol, como Maura Garcia, como Maria Luisa, como Guadalupe, como Sergio, como Jaime, como Rosario Franco, and como Consuelo. Todas se de cinco pace and dicates. Persons tienen preguntas muy valid sobre su situación, sobre sus pagos, sobre sus trámites, and the response sempre foi the same in the fondo. El program está funcionando, the resources se están dispersing, the trámites have fetches and processes clear, and the pension no se kits because it's un directo. If you también tienen dudas sobre your case específico, the most recommendable is que vayas directly a your module de atención del Banco del Bienestar or del Programa del Bienestar más cercano. I quite puede in date. Information personalised about your situation, your fetches of payment, your datos in the padron, and qualquer tramite that you need to assess. Neither kid you con doubts, ni dejas can now one today information sin respaldo official, because lamentably I persons ca approvechen the confusion to engano the beneficiaries. Quiero repeat you the fetch is most important for you to lengas muy clear. The 30th of June commences the dispersion of the quarter bimester, which corresponds to Julio and Agosto. The persons with surname could be empieza con the letter A, podrían ver su depósito desde el 29 of June. The entrega of tarjetas is realised from the 15 to the 21 of June. The registration of new beneficiaries is from the 22 to the 28 of June. And during all of June, it's important to tramitate the credential of salud of the Bienestar to maintain actualise the padrón. And note these fechas. Take a capture of pantalla of this part of the video if you can, or dish them to someone of confidence so they don't take them lost. The montos también te los repeat so there's no confusion. Adult mayore? The 65-year-old age or more, $6,400. Women of 60 years age or more who haven't yet reached the 65, $3,100. Persons with disability, $3,300. If when you get your deposit you see a quantity different to the one that corresponds to you, or if the money doesn't arrive in a timely fashion after your letter should have already been processed, accood to your module of attention to clarify the situation. And yeah, that we're talking about all this, I want to remind you of something very important about how to protect your money and your tarbaret. Never give your tarbaret number to a stranger. Número de tarjeta, tu NIP, ni tus datas personales, are nobody that tells them to you by telephone, by message, or in person, if it isn't a servidor público official devidly identified in a unit point of attention official. There are people who act like trabajadores of the program to rob datas and money from the beneficiaries. If someone calls you saying that they work for the Banco del Bienestar or from the program and asks for personal information, hang up and report it. The program will never ask you for your datas by telephone or via say. Mensaje. También is important that if you have someone who helps you to collect your money because you can't go there yourself, that person needs to be registered as your representative in an official manner. It can't just be any person, and the process needs to be done legally to protect you and your apoyo. Now, we're almost at the end of the video, and I want you to do something for me and for yourself or yourself. If this information was helpful to you, if you learned something new, if you're clear about when and how much money you're going to get, recibí, escríbeme en los comentarios. Cuéntame cuál es tu caso, si eres adulto mayor, si tienes una discapacidad, si estás esperando tu primera tarjeta. Me encanta leer sus historias en sus preguntas, porque así sé what temas les interesan más y puedo hacer videos con información que realmente les sirva. En si conoce a alguien que sea will benefit con esta información, comparte the video ahorita. Mándalo por WhatsApp, compártelo en Facebook, ponlo en your grupos. Puede que haya alguien que no sabe que tiene derecho a este apoyo o que no sabía que debía hacer un trámite this month of June, and can solo compartir this video, you puedes ayudar a que no pierda su dinero ni su lugar in the Patreon. This is the major regalo you can hacerle a alguien that you cares. Remember too to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and activate the campanita of notifications so that you don't miss any video. Here we publish constantly informations over the programs of Bienestar, Fechas of pay, Cambios in the requirements, new trámites, and tudo lo que needs to save. Para estar siempre informada e informado, and para que nunca te agarre desprevenida o desprevenido, un cambio important in the program. Para cerrar, quiero que te lleves algo muy clear from this video. Tu pension is yours. It's a decro that you got earned, that's protected by the Constitution, and no one can take it from you or condition you. You have right to receive it punctually, in the most correct amount, without false lineups and without frauds. That's why it's so important to be informed, to do your paperwork on time. Mantener tus datos actualizados y no dejarte engañar por nadie. Cuida tu dinero, cuida tus documentos y comparta esta información para que more personas también puedan cuidar lo que les corresponde. Gracias por quedarte hasta el final de este video. Significa mucho para nosotras que le des tu tiempo a este canal y prometemos seguir trayéndote información clara, confiable y útil sobre todos los programas de bienestar que existen en México. Nos vemos en el próximo vídeo, que también voy a tener información muy importante que no te puedes perder.